Hi guys, welcome to the Strange Man channel. In this video I will tell interesting stories. How did you lose your virginity, and at what age? Story 1. I had just turned 14, she just turned 15. She was up for it way more than I was because all of her friends had been dating older guys and lost their virginity already. Anyway, we basically f***ed in her bedroom, practically fully clothed. My pants down to my knees. She only took her jeans off but wanted to keep her knickers on, so she slipped them to one side. She had everything else on, including socks. I put a condom on. For the first time, it felt like I'd just slipped a greasy shopping bag around my hose. I had a bit more growing to go. Missionary position, obviously. She was tense and unrelaxed, which made me tense and unrelaxed. I b***ed her for about 5 minutes before I came. I was somewhat happy it was over, I'm honest. She seemed more bothered about the condom breaking, which was weird because she was wetter than an otter's pocket. Anyway, we carried on seeing each other after that for a year or so and got better, but only just. Story 2. I promised I wouldn't risk having a kid until I had a job that paid enough for me to support one. I turned 18 and immediately got into construction. Where I'm at, you can support yourself off about $15 an hour if you aren't living in the big cities, or if you are fine with crackhead neighbors. That's off 40 hours. I was making $14 an hour and working 50 plus hours a week, so I called my friend. He called a girl. We had in the cab of his truck while he sat on the tailgate and had beer. He did not finish the first one before we were done. He shook his head and told us he was drinking at least 3, so we might as well keep trying. That man is gonna be the best man at my wedding next month. Story 3. To a girl I'd known since middle school. She was at a sleepover with some friends our freshman year of high school. Got a phone call at like 2 a.m. from her and her friends asking if I can get them beer. I had a case from a party in THR fridge in my room. I was living with my aunt and uncle and they really didn't care if I drank. So I drove over to her friend's house, and it's like 6 girls having a mini party basically. Her parents were gone. They had me park a block away cause no guys rule. And snuck in. Well, they all thank me, and of course the topic of comes up. Well, Katie and I both admit that we are virgins, so the committee decides we should have. We were both down, so it, let's. So yeah, my first time I had an audience. Still friends with Katie to this day. I hang out with her and her wife quite often. Story 4. I have a good one, lol. I was 15 in late summer just before 9th grade. My sister had this best friend, neighbor, who was a bit wild and very, very beautiful. She had gorgeous red hair. She was about a year younger than me. I had a feeling she liked me cause of the way she would act around me, but it was probably just a little crush. I thought nothing of it really. Then one night I hear a tapping on my window. My bedroom is actually a converted office near the den on the opposite side of the house from where the rest of family sleeps. So I open the blinds and there she is, this beautiful redhead angel, asking me to open the window and let her in. Couldn't believe it. I let her in. She literally tells me she wants to do stuff and we fool around, but she is on her period. So she decides to give me a BJ. Mind you, she had never done one before and I had never received on before, so she was super enthusiastic about it. But between me being nervous and her inexperience, I didn't finish. But she tried for like an eternity and I was like, wow, this girl is really into this, haha. Few nights later, she comes back, same thing, I let her in the window and we fool around. This time we have sex for the first time and I remember literally having an awkward time trying to get it in. Lol, not sure if it was good, probably not. But we continued to hook up in this way for a few months. To finish the story, one night round 1 a.m. the girl's parents realize she is missing. They figure she snuck out and start going to neighbors' houses to check if she was there. We hear her parents' voice at our neighbor's house and we are like, oh f**k. So we put our clothes on and run out to the living room. We're lucky AF, my best friend was passed out and spending the night. I woke him up and was like, dude, you got to save me, they are going to come here and see us together. Her parents didn't like me for some reason, lol. So my bro gets up, throws his pants on, literally grabs the girl and takes her to the backyard and sits down with her on the outdoor furniture as if they have been talking for all hours of the night. They stay there until her parents comes and knocks on my door. And I let them in and I'm like, oh yeah, they are out back talking. They walk to our backyard, see the girl and my best friend talking, and they are pissed. But not as pissed as they would have been had they caught her with me because they didn't like me. My best friend was very likable, everybody liked him, lol. So yeah, he literally turned the charm on LVL 1000 and lied to everybody like, yes, she came over here to talk to me, I have a crush on her and we were just hanging out. Saved me 100% because my dad would have killed me if you knew I was a girl in my bedroom at 15. Neighbor girl only got in a little bit of trouble and that was that, lol. Story 5. 26. To my wife on our wedding night. We slowly undressed each other. She smiled and started gently handling it. Then she said she wanted us to take a bath and we washed each other. Then we made love 3 times before falling asleep. I don't know how, but I lasted a good 15 minutes that first time. I awoke a couple hours later as she was mounting me and she rode me till I was spent. We fell asleep again and made love again in the morning. 19 years of practice and it's only gotten better. A lot better. There's something special about fondly remembering my first time 19 years ago, then looking to my right and there she is in bed next to me. Story 6. I played in a really metal band when I was 16. Me and this girl were dating and she hinted at times she wanted to have sex. We were at band practice and a handful of the guys were smoking pot and decided to take a break and go throw a football at a park across the road. I tell my bandmates I'm chill in the basement with her because I frankly didn't want to throw a football. My drummer told me he had a monster box in there that had in it. I laughed and my brother who played bass told me to make him proud. We laughed it off. We sit on the couch and watch the show 16 and Pregnant. She turns her head to me and said, "Don't you want to make your brother proud?" I jump up and run to the Monster Energy box. I grab some rubbers and put one on. I thought I ripped it so I took it off and put another on. Then I thought I ripped that one and put on another after the old ones fell on the floor. Then we start. It was only a few moments when the door opens and all my bandmates walk in on me having relations in my drummer's bed. He freaked out and I told them all to get out. We didn't get to finish. It was a really weird experience. Some of those guys began joking about my butt cheeks jiggling. Story 7. I was like 16 years old. Went with some older friends to a festival in a town near mine. My older friends were hanging out with their friend which was older, probably 28 or 30-year-old very hot woman. Her husband was out of town working. We ended up back at her house that night to drink and hang out. My friends got smashed and passed out. I was left up with the 30-ish-year-old woman. She got me faced and basically seduced me. I was obviously totally willing but clueless as what to do. She walked me through it lol and the next morning I had the worst hangover ever. She hugged us all by, me last in line, smiled oddly at me as I leaned in to give her a hug. Worst part, what woke me up that morning was the answering machine going off and it was her husband leaving her a voicemail. I've never felt more horrible yet also on top of the world in my life. Wow, yeah I peaked at 16 lol. Story 8. 15 at a party. I barely knew the girl as we had only met a couple of times through a mutual friend. She had gotten drunk and started flirting with me hard. I was a very shy but horny teen so I was just glad for the attention. We went to a bedroom and started making out. After a while, she asks, "Do you want to f*** now or later?" Trying not to look too eager, I respond with either way is fine with me. She says let's do it now, pulls off her panties, and we do the deed. At the time, I saw nothing wrong with how it had happened. Virginity is not some precious commodity to me. She had initiated the entire encounter and I was just enjoying the ride. As I got more experienced, I realized how messed up and dangerous it may have been. I may have had verbal and enthusiastic consent, but she was drunk and I hadn't considered that at any point. We also didn't use any protection as I wasn't in the habit of keeping around. Story 9. I think I was 16 and I was at my high school BFS house chilling in the basement, a basement with no doors mind you, and his mom and sister were upstairs. It was the Bird Box era so we watched that. After that we snacked on some buffalo chicken dip while watching Family Feud and started fooling around. Tortilla chips and buffalo chicken dip leftovers like 2 seats over, yikes. And I just said I want to do it and he was like wait already and I was like yeah. He took the leftovers of the dip upstairs to put away and got a and I was like oh shit I'm about to lose my virgin. Anyway we did it and it hurt and then went to CFA for Din W as mommy. I told my sister and she ended up telling my mom and her best friends and somehow my high school BF sister found out. Well guys, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye everyone.